We're on the air again.
All
Welcome
right.
back, everybody. Welcome back, Rem.
Welcome back, Bobby.
So, what have you brought to us today? So, a little backstory for everybody. Rem and I had a conversations midweek, and he decided that he wanted to kind of take the reins on a topic this week. So that's where we are. Rem, what are we going to talk about this week?
Well, I mean, even before it, how you, I know we can't go into detail, but how are you doing, Bob?
Oh, fuck everything. That's all. I don't want to talk about whatever's going on. It's shit. And moving on. How are you doing?
My life is a cesspool. I'm wading up to the neck in feces, and I'm crying myself to sleep.
That sounds terrible. I'm very sorry to hear that.
It's all right. So we're both in the same boat. So we're skipping all the niceties and getting right to it. We had talked about a few different things. You know, there was initially a discussion of politics that we may pick up at a later date. So we will not spoil that now, because right now in our current news landscape, some crazy shit's going on. But something happened in the news recently, and it's been happening over the last year. And I thought, why don't we talk about UFOs, Bob?
Are we just going to talk about UFOs, or are we going to talk about anything else?
No, there may be another one, but let's see if that branches organically and just kind of let it flow. Yeah, let's one foot in front of the other. And yeah, I think we can start with that. I mean, we had talked a little bit about a couple other things, elderly people. But so we may just kind of see what flows today. We may just kind of repertoire and see what happens.
All right. So what was your motivation for speaking about this?
Well, last year, and a lot of people don't seem to be aware of this, and I'll take it more current, but last year, the USA declassified all its UFO reports, meaning they made everything. Oh, nice.
Look at that.
They made everything. It was kind of erotic too, how you looked me in the eye and did it slowly. I needed that. But they came out and were like, yeah, everything you guys have thought and assumed is real. There are crafts always and all the time, and they're in space, and they're in our airspace a lot of times with Air Force people and such. So I found it interesting that something people had battled for a long time, which was, are there, aren't there, that it was like, yeah, there are, and very few people know that that even happened.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and you can look up and again, it's like, oh, cool, people are just talking, but what you have is a lot of Air Force pilots coming out with footage and being like, yeah, okay, so this night, this thing was flying alongside our craft and was going back and forth and doing things that aircraft that we're aware of technologically can't do.
Is it technologically, or is it also because of the laws of physics?
Yeah,
as we know them.
100%. Because there are ideas that these things can stop on a dime and completely 360 in the opposite direction at the same speed, which is something we would not be able to do. And they can. Another thing that's talked about is they can phase, which is you'll see them and then they'll fade out, and then you'll see them again 10,000 miles later. But I think the implications of it are really interesting, because when I think about that, I don't necessarily think we're in danger. I always just assume that we're some kind of weird ass science project, and whatever comes to visit us is like observing what not to do in their own society. But so I wanted to just go baseline with you, Bob, and ask you, what's your thought on UFOs? Have you ever had any experiences? Do you have friends who have? Do you approach it with a grain of salt? What do you think about it?
Personally speaking, I always think that we're never alone in the universe. I have never had any experiences, nor have any of my friends. But that is all I can really say, is that I'm a skeptic, and I think it's foolish to think that in the expansion of universe that we are the only sentient beings
intelligent
that exist.
Yeah. No, it's interesting. And my mom told me a story when I was younger that was fucking strange. And she stands by it. My mom's not a liar, but she was at school in the Massachusetts area. And supposedly it was college at the time, supposedly her and all her dorms saw something over the dorm building.
Where did you go to school?
I'm keeping that a little more closer to the chest for.
Well, what I mean is region, like if you could do it regionally, where did you go to school?
Providence, Boston.
So in between Providence and Boston?
In one of those cities, yeah.
Okay.
So, but it was an all-girls school, and they saw a craft, and everybody saw it, and they went on the roof, and like supposedly it was just a big fucking UFO. Imagine, as you will, cylindrical, round, massive. And then she says that people came, like, swooped in the building, and, like, police and officials were telling them it was an air balloon and didn't let any of them leave for 2 days. So it was really interesting, but it was always one of those things too where I'm like, I feel like there's a game of telephone in that story.
So you're saying the stereotypical story of it was a weather balloon, everybody, relax, go back to your lives.
Yeah, but again, she said everyone was like, if it was just nothing, they wouldn't be here telling us what it was, you know?
What kind of weather balloon demands a response of people with hazmat suits?
Exactly. And yeah, exactly. Four patrol cars around a college campus. But my experiences were always whatever. I never experienced anything. I did have an experience. You remember the redhead I dated?
Yes, I do. No soul.
No soul.
No soul. Okay.
No soul. We're not being mean. That thing was dark. But I had an experience with her probably around 2000, I'm going to say 17, 16 maybe, actually.
You were still with her that long?
Yeah, we were together for 6 years.
Wow, I did not know that.
Yeah.